HEYITSMENESSER. Because he has that jacket.
He lives with Daffy actually, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Man, Daffy as well. That's gas, man.
Yeah, he does music as well.
Nah, it's oh yeah. He's pretty big, like. What's that nigga? Oh yeah, fucking. I can't think of my name now. Any artist, George. Any artist. Give me any artist.
Heavy Rex?
No, just any normal, like not normal. I think that's something bad. Like, no, like it's
is he speaking English?
No, man. It was long story short. It's funny how you forgot you did music or you did. Oh no,
I have no idea what he's talking about.
You didn't.
Genuinely.
I talk fast.
I love this.
I talk very fast.
Yeah, you're like so basically you talk like you rap then. Kind of. You kind of slowed it down. I'm screaming. Let's hop into this now.
Alright, okay.
Hello, sir.
All my niggas got it fed up shit. I'm done.
What is going on? I'm absolutely rattled. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm a kid. Lovely to be here. I'm looking at this.
Why are you doing the intro? He sat in my seat and then he's. Why do people do this?
I swear.
I'm not gonna lie. I do it when I'm on other people's like.
Who does nigga think he is?
Anyway.
Continue.
Thank you. Thanks for giving me the floor. Hey, it's HEYITSMENESSER. Welcome back to another episode. I have here with me Jeorge II, Jeorge II.
Oh, people always
Jeorge
say that. Are you Jeorge II? I'm like, you know what? I don't even blame you because that's what it looks like. I can't blame you.
To be fair, at this stage, same thing with Manessa. Like,
I swear. I remember. The funny thing is, when I started looking at stuff, Ask Kelly, I'd be saying this like just randomly. With your intro, it's like, hey, it's HEYITSMENESSER. That's stuck in my head for so long.
Says it like that.
Bro, hey, it's HEYITSMENESSER. I was like,
that.
What do you mean? You recorded it?
I know, but like, it's not like how your voice sounds different to other people.
Yeah.
So like everybody always puts it like high pitch. I'm like, do I sound like a rat? Like how? And everybody does it. Like, and now I'm just like because I'm from Waterford, innit? A lot of the people I chat to online, I actually haven't met in person before. So it's kind of like everything is like I'm introducing myself to people at a function that they've already invited me to.
I'm from Dublin, it's the same thing here.
Do you know what I mean? And then like, oh, hey Manessa, and I'm like,
it's Nessa.
I don't even do that anymore.
The
worst part was when I introduced myself as Vanessa, and someone said, no, it's Manessa as the first one.
Oh,
you're
it's
not
Vanessa. That makes sense. Wait, I knew that though. I'm a bit tired.
Everybody knows that. I don't know why everybody.
Even I'm realizing like that's her name on Bleeding. It's like Vanessa or something.
It says Vanessa Albana.
I swear, I was like, yeah, that's the name. Anyway, Nessa.
Exactly.
Anyway, Nessa's the name.
No, I think I'm calm with the what's it called? So Jeorge II. First of all, can we like just the audacity you had to drop music when Kanye West is dropping music? Drake is dropping music. Do you know how many hours there are in a day? Granted, I'm not working anymore. I have nothing to do, and I can listen to music literally 24/7. But my brain can't function.
Do you know what's really funny about that? The real funny thing about that was the reason I actually planned to drop this in August, and then the last week of August, right? But it was crazy. Like when I dropped my first EP, and like Kelly says this all the time as well. It says like I'm very bad with comparing myself to other people.
Yeah.
So when I dropped my first EP, that was literally like the week of Jafar's dropping that Stride EP. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, think about it. It's like some little ass nigga is coming up, like nobody even knows you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, there's no EP I dropped. And it's like Jafar's renting out Bleeding Button Factory. Doing all I'm like, yeah, leave it.
I think it's like hard though because even though you planned it in August, you probably looked. You're like, yeah, this is fine. Thought about it, and then. Niggas are just dropping shit because
see, like it was against
because they can.
No, it's not because they can.
What do you mean? Kanye literally
Kanye.
They were just like, we're sick of this guy. Here's an album. Drake is like a week ago. Yeah, I'm sick of Kanye too. Here's an album.
The really funny thing was about that whole thing was I was gonna drop it the last week of August, right? And before, literally I was on DistroKid. And I was like, I'm bad with like time management or whatever. Like this was uploaded like maybe 3
So you're a typical rapper, that's great.
100%. And I seen on Instagram Upward Z, shout out Upward Z. He was dropping his thing with Evan Miles on the date I want to drop my thing on. I was like, you know what? No, I don't want any because I don't want any drops with any other artists on my day. If that makes sense, because I don't want to,
it would be oversaturated.
Exactly. It's not like
even someone else dropped on the week Who dropped on the week? Was it Dave?
No.
Or Dave dropped the week before. Well, I was so
before.
immersed in Dave's album that I was still listening. I still haven't listened to. I've heard like different. I think "Ignorance" or something, one of the songs or something. I've heard like different things from it, but I haven't sat down
And actually
exactly because I can't. It's just oversaturated. I love it. I'm not complaining because I was complaining 3 weeks ago that there wasn't enough music. Now they're coming. You guys are coming. Basketball, everything.
After Woodward. No, so I was like, oh yeah, I'll drop it the next week. No one's dropping that week. It's grand. Then I see Kanye dropping on
top 5 artists.
And then there's the next thing, like, it's Kanye. Then Drake dropping things like, you know what? Let me just quit rapping.
And then I'm done. Where did you get the inspiration for the EP, or was it just like something that you felt it was time to drop another?
It was the funny thing is, it was actually meant to be dropped last year. Funnily enough, I feel like so basically, I spent my whole kind of creative entity. Who am I? Who's saying entity on camera? Come on. Energy. On basically, I used to work with Rejects, and we actually had a whole 10, 11 track album that we're recording with like literally everyone.
I saw that. Didn't you teased it?
I teased it.
Yeah,
a lot. I teased it a lot. Dropped the artwork, dropped loads of things. It's case of like I was kind of the what's the word? I was the musical kind of, okay, this song goes here. We'll get this guy for the feature. We'll get this guy. So you know what I mean, putting it together musically, if that makes sense. And some other person who whatever I'm trying to name names was meant to organize the release. Yeah. And that person organized the release with somebody else that kind of just flopped, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So but you've no idea how not even irritating, but just like say you cleaned up this whole gaff, right? I said, grand, now I'm gonna have my boyfriend over or whatever to see him, and then when they comes in and go like a fucking tin of beans or some shit like that, and niggas like, you got some beans? I'm like, there's like beans all over the wall, like the whole wall covered in beans. Just like, why did I even fucking bother?
This is so excessive, like aggressive and excessive, but I feel like that kind of expresses your feelings towards 100%, the whole thing.
100%. It was more like it was frustrating. It was more like it was very not debilitating. Because I'm not gonna make it the whole thing, but it's really annoying. Imagine you sat here and recorded loads of loads. Like say it's not just me. You said I had like 4 people today, and you did it, and then it's case of like somebody else, not somebody else, but like some.
Don't just mess it up.
Poor management kind of just messed it up in regards to stuff. So then I didn't actually write anything for like 6 months. Any songs I dropped after that were already pre-written. Yeah. So then it was just a case of like, you know what, I have to do this now. If I'm not gonna do this now, I'm never gonna do it. So that's why I want to drop. That's why I dropped it. That's why I dropped it now anyway.
That makes a lot of sense because even during lockdown, the start of lockdown, you dropped like Angela, and then you did some work with, was it Maliki? Yeah, and then didn't you drop something else?
Shout Maliki, great guy.
Didn't you drop something else about a year and a bit ago?
Yeah, I did. It was a song called Egomaniac Flow, which was kind of like Now, at the time, don't get me wrong, I thought I don't know. I think that was the closest I had ever been to being like lost in the sauce, if that makes sense. I'm just being like, how do I say it? Just kind of, my ego was crazy. Yeah. It was just crazy. And then during that actual winter, that winter, I kind of went into a slump. It was like a really, really high, then a real manic high, then a real low for like maybe 3 months of the winter. Seasonal depression, whatever you want to call it.
Did you feel like because of COVID as well, obviously?
No. The thing about COVID is, the real funny thing is, I was only out with COVID for gigs, if that makes sense. Like I'm a Samuel L. Jackson and Django. I'm a house nigga. Like I don't leave my gaff. Like well, I don't leave the crib.
Like the things that you use to explain other things.
I don't. Yeah, I try my best at that. That's
do whatever you want. Be yourself. That's what I want. Be yourself. But it's just I'm getting used to it.
What's gonna say again? No, I never left the house in COVID. Honestly, it wasn't. Not really. The way I see it, and it was. Before I got my lovely girlfriend, it was a case of like even talking to people is a case of like if you're not making me money, if you're not throwing me something, or if you're not like trying to link for a date or something like that, like don't talk to me. Like, you know what I'm saying, because I'm not very. My mom raised me in a certain way where it's like you don't need friends. And like grown. No cap. Literally, it's just like,
no. It's just. This is a very strong statement.
I mean, don't get me wrong. People are licensing a life and stuff like that, but it's a case of like I don't need to. Engross myself in people or depend on people. I'm a social comedian. I have Have you ever seen like a Snoop Dogg, for example, right?
Yeah, he's like in random.
Niggas just everywhere. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I was literally thinking the other day, like he really tried to convince us that he was Snoop Lion and do that.
Do you remember that? He got reincarnated. made a whole album.
Really,
the bro made a whole album.
Because he at the time, I don't know, he did some work with Drake, and I was a Drake. I still am a Drake stan, but not as much as I was back then. But I remember, what was the song? He made a song with Drake in his Snoop Lion, and it was ass. I pretended it was good. I'm not gonna lie, big up Drake. But like, it was ass. But yeah, I completely get you. Like, you fit in a lot of, you tick a lot of boxes. Like,
yeah. So like, I mean, even like, I dropped the EP last Friday, and Kelly was like, "Oh, do you want to invite some people up to the apartment, and we'll have a little partying session." And I was thinking about the friends that I wanted to invite up, but all the friends that I had were from different friend groups, and they didn't actually know each other.
I'm the exact same. Like, I'm trying to have a housewarming, like in a couple, and I panicked. I even wanted to have a birthday party, and I just didn't. I decided to go to a different country by myself.
Where'd you go?
Spain, into Alicante.
Yes.
Do you not see me trying to be a travel blogger?
Yeah.
But like, I completely get that. Like, it's very like, but you have to just break. For me, I'm just throwing everybody in a room. Whatever happens. Everybody fights each other. Everybody wants to kill each other. That's what they can do. But I completely get that when you have like small groups of friends in different places, but they never actually interacted with each other. That's quite awkward.
I think even for me, like in regards to like what I would actually need to just be happy would be like go home. I got food. I got music. I got my Xbox is working.
You're a typical like extrovert or introvert.
It's funny because
you can do both.
Exactly. Around people, I'm the not loudest in the room, but it's case like I would be in work. I'm the fun guy. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? But at home, it's like, don't come into my room.
I mean, it is a spectrum in general, but like that's definitely like a trait of introversion. I don't know, bro. But like, even like talking about your mom, you have a song on the EP called "Mama's Boy" with Malachi. It's Maliki.
I think it's Maliki. I think Maliki.
How do you think this? Do you talk this person?
Well, no. I think his name is that's not his actual name.
Oh, okay.
So even when I said it, I said Malachi, but Maliki is the way I'd say it's said in my Irish accent. Because I said Malachi for the first like month, and I was like, that's not it's Jeorge II all over again. But no, it's not. I think Maliki.
Yeah, I feel like that's the most. That's the song with the most substance on the album. Like, I think you can. I know you said where you were. Like, you had like a big ego, or you were like very high. I think you can see that during the album. I think you can see that just in your music and in the way you kind of, deliver it. I think that you do have a lot of energy and you have like a lot of self-confidence, but not like in a cocky way, if that makes sense. Like, it can be cocky, but that's almost expected from rappers. 100%, but like in that song itself, it was more kind of, it was deeper. I felt like I was trying to figure out the storyline, if there was one. There's a lot of like tension with your family, with your mom, drugs, depression.
Basically, when I was I was like 17, I was the middle child, the quintessential, the one who always got in trouble.
And the middle
child. I got suspended in school, got sent home from school. But so I'd always be giving my mom a heart attack. Not heart attack. God forbid. But I'd always be giving my mom like stress and it's like, so it's a case of like when I was 17, she found out I was smoking weed and stuff like that, and then it got a bit. So actually, I moved out for a few days, like a month and a half, and did my own thing, came back, and then about we'll say 2 years later, it got to the stage of we had tensions, if that makes sense, and I got into a bit of an altercation in college, and which, long story short, led me to being to stay home for a month. I mean, not stay home for a year, sorry. And
that's a long time.
Yeah, that's a long ass time. So it's kids like me and my mom would always be like button heads. And obviously I know now, looking back at this, a 24-year-old, that she's only doing that. If my mom did not care about me at all, she'd be like, go on, smoke all the weed you want, go on, play with that guy too.
In fact, here's some.
Literally, in fact, roll me one. But like, it's a case of like, so then I left, and I just that song was basically just me realizing I put my mom through like a lot of crap, and I kind of feel bad about that. And then obviously I moved out of the house when I was 19, and I only for the first like year and a half, like me and my mom just didn't talk like at all, and that's probably the worst part of my existence. No, but it's case of like that was real tough not having you're from what?
Yeah.
Lovely. You're from you're from Waterford, and it's case like you're living up here, right? But it's case like how would you feel if like you couldn't call your mom?
Yeah.
Or like how do you feel like if you couldn't go home on the weekend and bring some nice love rice back? Or like, you know what I'm saying? Just be like, not even dependent on it, but like just knowing it's there.
Yeah.
Like to this day, I've never taken, since I moved out of my house, to this day, I've never taken a single cent off my mom. I've even given her money, if that makes sense. But what I'm trying to say is like, just to have that safety net. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
During my, when I was like proper depressed last year, it was a case of like, I always remember this, like, I was in bed and my mom just called me. And I was 7 o'clock, just lying in bed, like, you know what I'm saying? Just like, you know, somewhere. She should be not even watching TV, not with my friends, just lying in bed because I just didn't have the mental capacity to do anything that day. And my mom called me and she's like, blah, blah, blah. Just talking, I'm talking to her too, blah. And I'm obviously feeling a bit like, oh, my mom called me, nice. Then she said something like, oh, we're all praying for you, we love you and all this stuff. And I just broke down crying, like, do you know what I'm saying? And then she came to the gap I live and just talked to me with my brother and all that stuff. So it was case of like stuff like that. Like in one Kendrick Lamar is like, ain't nobody praying for me. My grandma's dead. That's not just him saying that. That's him like, fam, people like it's mad. People praying for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like how mad is it that like your mom will pray for you when you're not there? You know the back, you know the prayers coming for you or something like that. You know what I mean? Not trying to take into like a religious territory, but in the sense of like just having somebody there, knowing that like someone's looking out for you or someone that's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
how is that relationship now? Like,
it's great now. Yeah. It's great now.
And prior to that, like obviously we've heard like the typical like African, like my parents didn't want me to do music. How was that like growing up and talking to her about?
I remember my mom wanted. I remember when I was like 11 or 12 or something like that. We were watching this Britney Spears concert or something mad. Like don't catch me sleeping on that now. I was just 12. But what I go home and say Britney Spears concert. George likes Britney Spears. Dead ass. And it was just a case of like she said to me. She said a comment like my African name is Moi. And she goes, oh Moi, I'd rather you be a footballer than do this rubbish. You know what I mean? And I'm just like I didn't even say it.
Football is like staple African.
Oh, of course, of course. So I wasn't even thinking of doing it back then. I wasn't thinking of rapping. I didn't know I could fucking even make music and stuff like that. And then I started rapping and I kept it a secret for about a year. So yeah, we'll say late 2019. I kept it a secret, and then it came out in late 2019. I'll always remember because my mom called me in work. And do you ever get those times when like your mom called, like when we were a kid, and like you're out somewhere and like you didn't defrost the chicken or something like that, and like your mom just calls you just to scream at you. It's like the call lasts about maybe a minute and a half. I got no words in like.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? It's like you're disgrace. I do all this to the family. Oh, how people? Do you know what I mean? Like because apparently some of my relatives from Nigeria seen the video before she did.
Right.
And obviously in my old videos, they were a bit more, we'll say, raunchy. At that time I was trying to be like, oh yeah, do all this mad stuff so people will be like, oh that dude. So at that point it was like kind of mad videos and stuff like that. So she wasn't happy about that. But it was grand really. The only reason my granddad was put on the first song was because he was the first person in my family to actually be like, yeah. Like he even said to me, he was like, I taught you, because it's mad. The niggas like just so like has so much confidence in me, so much belief in me. I almost feel like you're setting the bar a bit too high, like you know what I'm saying. But when he said to me,
it's a prayer that basically like the voice now.
My mom was doing. I used to play football when I was like from say 14 to like 16, 17. And my granddad was like really adamant with me playing football.
Yeah.
So I was talking to him, I think it was like last year, he goes, the only reason I wanted to play football because I thought that's what you're making money in. But if you're doing this now, they're like, yeah, 100% do that. I'm just like, but yeah, so like, yeah.
Talking about making money, obviously with Irish artists, it's very hard to be in just music. Like, what do you do like outside of music?
What do you believe? I'm a product development technician in a biotech company. I make, that's literally it. Like, I I work in a lab basically.
Yeah.
And I make.
So you're educated.
As much as they think anyway.
Do you know, like we were on I don't know if it was Clubhouse or Live or something with like I just remember Pat Lagoon there, but I can't remember who exactly was speaking. And someone said that if you want to be a real rapper, you can't go to college. What do you think of that?
It was some, I know who was
some
it?
white dude, isn't it?
Gavin, the guy who, my guy who smacked that girl up. What's his name again? That was a bad way to reference him. That was just because it's coming. There's no filter. It's coming from my brain straight to my mouth. I'm like, camera's right there.
I'm just what's
the guy's name?
I think it's Gavin something.
Gavin Da Vinci. That guy's. Look, I don't get what I met one time. It is what it is, but like, guys are gonna fucking feel like. Even in saying that, like, nah, guys, no, I mean, like, shout out Gavin and all that. Obviously, like, I'm not gonna stop someone who's fucking doing that. Like,
I don't know what he's done. What do you think about that? Wait, what?
Do you know what he did?
What? You tell me.
Okay, you'll cut this out anyway.
No, I'm not. I hate anime. I'm not doing it.
Man, just, like, about 2 months ago, like, a guy just smacked up some girl, like.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Is he in jail?
No.
I don't know if that's, like, a jailable offense.
But
yeah, so...
No,
what do you think about that comment in general?
We were watching it. Me and Kelly were watching it. I think it's stupid. No, it's not stupid. Sorry. I think that comment is... No, it is stupid. It really is stupid because it's like... In the sense
Final
of...
answer?
It's stupid.
Final answer.
It's stupid. But... how much is this? It's almost like...
Insulting?
No, not insulting. It sounds so bleeding... It's something like a like 8 Mile shit, like it's some 8 Mile shit where it's like
man looks like Eminem as well.
Do you know what I mean? just like what movie are you watching? Like, do you know what I mean? Like it's just like maybe if you were in America where there's a fucking huge industry, and it's case like you know what? Yeah, maybe. But even at that, I'd be like, nah, it's fucking dumb. Get yourself a safety net. Anybody who's doing music now, unless that ink is on that fucking contract, or unless you're seeing millions of monthly listeners. You better go.
What was your where she said that unless it's 100 million, you're not signing the deal.
Exactly, it was a biddy.
Is that cap or?
Nah, it's return.
Unless it's 100 mil.
No, it was 1 mil. It was 1 mil.
Oh. Generous.
Very generous. Very generous. It's more a case of yeah, man. I'm giving a deal. But anyway, no, it's stupid because I think that like especially in this country, there's no fucking there's almost no support.
And I think like even COVID has really showed how the
100%.
country views the entertainment industry.
Big time. To the point where like we're having GAA matches packed, you know, and it's like people are next to each other, no masks on, and it's like we can't have an outdoor gig, we can't have to do it. It's just stupid.
You can't sing.
It's just stupid. And shout out to like people like Daffy because he actually ran a festival like last week I think it was.
Yeah.
So like that's a guy taking a bit of fucking initiative to be like, you know what, if you're gonna set these boundaries first, I'm gonna work around these boundaries instead of doing my fucking thing. And then I feel like that's gonna.
I feel like there's a lot of festivals on right now. I know like JLL is in like there's like 2 in Cork. There's bare festivals. I've seen people at festivals the whole time, but I didn't even see the promotion for them.
Because it's got promoted, probably got shut down.
So I don't know where people are like.
Yeah.
And it's like in midweek as well. There's one like yesterday or something. I was like, I'm not gonna be in the middle of a field.
On a Tuesday afternoon.
Like, I mean, I'm currently not working, so I could, but I wouldn't. Like,
on a Tuesday afternoon.
It's a bit peak. But like, even talking about like the music industry itself, like, where would you see yourself like in the Irish music scene, if anywhere?
I think this might be a bit unpopular, but might be an unpopular opinion, but I feel like there's 2 different distinct scenes, if that makes sense. In the sense of like, how do I say this? Like, I'll say there's kind of they're not really amalgamated, is what I see. I've been here for like 2 years. Been here actively, for 2 years, and moving around with different people and seeing different things. I feel like there's like a black scene where it's like you got your you got your Sule's, what's the name? Sule. You got your Jafarises, you got your Hair Squads, you got your Tony McKay. Oh, she's popping now. She's popping. Doing a thing on as Cam, and even I wouldn't even bring her into that because it's like I feel like she is a little bit more. Not even above that. It's in my head. It's a Venn diagram.
Okay.
You got a black scene, got a white scene.
And
a white
scene
scene.
in the middle.
Exactly.
To be fair, I would put Soleil and Jafaris in there as well.
In the middle?
Yeah.
That's completely fair. Oh, yeah, I say that. But I feel like it's a case of like there's a whole lot of politics, if that makes sense. A lot of clout, a lot of
I feel like
stuff.
it seems like the people who have like, what's the word? Like labels and stuff behind them, they're the black people that fit in that.
Yes,
that would fit
exactly,
in the middle.
exactly, 110% in the sense.
And to be fair, I don't think there's a problem with it. There's a problem with it, but not on their side.
Not on their side. Everything's good on both sides, but I would like to see it a lot more amalgamated. We'll say, as in like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm rare. I don't think me and Kelly used to go to like fucking 2-3 gigs a week, and it's a case of like either they're all white or they're all black.
Yeah.
Or, do you know what I mean? I think Rejects was one of the few gigs.
I was actually very sad that I missed that. That's when 1+1 had a pop up.
Yeah.
I was very sad that I missed that.
That was good there, man. We put a lot of planning into the shout Jamal. Me and Jamal put a lot of planning into that. And what was I gonna say again? We what's the word? I feel like it's just not really that amalgamated because personally I feel like it's school. I feel like you walk into the canteen and everybody's like different. It's not really but like everybody's at different tables. If that makes sense. And one of the reasons I said it before, like I mean, I said it before, but like I think I said in a song, one of those things I was doing last summer. I was like, I love JLOL in the sense of like how he got to his level, in the sense of like he didn't partake in any of that cloud bullshit. From what I know anyway, from what I've heard and what I know, didn't partake in any of that cloud stuff. Did his own thing out of it, and like is at a big level now. I won't name any names regarding it, but like there's people who like I think I always say shit like, especially with the whole cloud politics stuff, it's just the whole Game of Thrones in the sense of like you're playing that person to try and get above them, but they're secretly playing you. And in the sense of like once you get to the top, I won't say nobody, I won't name no names because I do like the guy. He's a very nice guy. Once you get to the top, or close to the top, or you're getting to your popping thing. The people under you, they're not like pushing you. You know what I mean? Like if you see Mango and Matman's fans, for example, or like even Versatile's fans, for example, them niggas is diehards. Like them niggas is like they're the people who get into fights in the comment sections, defending stuff. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Like,
well, it's interesting that you named 2 white artists versus the rest of the black artists that you talked about fans, and I feel like from what I've seen, I'm only kind of new to the music scene at all, but the majority of people that I've interacted with are black, just naturally, and everyone says that there's a problem with support in Ireland, but it doesn't seem that way when it comes to the white people.
Because it's a case of like, for example, Shah Cello, sick. Actually, he's probably the fucking the exception.
I was gonna say
because it's a case of like, I think it was Dave Chappelle was it Paul Moore? I think his name is right. He's a comedian, and it's a case of like everybody wants to be black, or the fucking most sold commodity in America is being black, as in rap music, as in slang, as in necklaces, as in diamonds, gold, all this crap. And like it's like I fucking see videos fucking suburban kids wearing do-rags, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, yeah, you know what you're doing.
I've seen the TikTok, check out my waves.
Bro, I'm telling you. But like it's a case of like, so how do I say this? People support will say versatile, blah blah blah. Obviously that's rap. So given in that sense they're doing that, I'm not saying not that appropriation shit. Rap if you want, rap or color, whatever color you want.
I think in Ireland it's a bit techie as well.
It's very
Ireland.
100%. But it's a case of like, Stella, for example, it's a case of like he has a lot of support from the white side as well. Like, a lot of white fans like really cool stuff. And that's only because like that guy's ingratiated himself among those people. Like they see like
he's very integrated into
100%. Niggas in a Dublin jersey and all. I'm like, I love to see that. Like,
I'm sorry, like he wore like a shirt and like a paddy hat, and I was like, this guy could be going to the PEO festivals now, and we actually would not know the difference. Do you think that's the advantage that the younger generation have?
I think
because he is a bit younger than the rest of the other rappers and artists that we've talked about.
I'm not sure how old he is, but
so like he's early 20s, if that. There's a difference between that and growing up in Ireland and feeling like you are Irish versus moving here and feeling like
100%.
you're a side of the society. Do you know what I mean? Like,
even growing up, I think I'm a lot of people my age, where I'm 25 next year, would be in the latter, whereas black people especially, because I remember growing up and it was like one Thierry Henry handballed that ball against Ireland, right? The next day, this fucking stupid ass when boys in my ear came in and they were like, let's go find French people and beat them up. But we're gonna find French people in a school in Lucan in Dublin. Oh, okay, that's fine. Who speaks French? Oh, Congolese people speak French. Oh, wait a minute, they're black as well. Do you know what I'm saying? So it just devolved from finding French people to like looking for a black guy by himself to jump. Nothing happened of it, but it was the sentiment that made you be like why am I?
It's just a reminder that you're not
exactly
you're not from here.
Exactly. But like I lost my train of thought.
Cello. Difference between generations.
Oh yeah, but like my little brother, for example, now he is he's 4 years younger than me, so he's just gone 20, and it's a case of like he is way more ingrained. He was born here, so he's way more ingrained. He's low. Like I have white friends too, I have black friends, but it's a case like he mixes it up. You know what I mean, he has a lot. He has. I wouldn't say. I'd say probably have more. I probably would just by the people I would hang out with, college and stuff like that. But I have more white friends than I have black friends. I was expecting to have more black friends. White friends probably has the same amount.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? Like,
and even like it's not a thing where they're separated. It's like
no, they're all
the same
banter. They all grew up together. They all do their thing.
Because I see the same with, for example, Young Shakur in Waterford. Like he's big in Waterford, and even at his concerts, you have white people going to support him, and they don't see a difference with it. But for some reason, we older, like 25 and over rappers or artists.
I think there's a bad stench of I don't want to be seen to not look cool by going up and dancing to that guy's set.
I don't get that, man.
Go like you go to a gig, I'm just gonna cling to the wall and do this and watch other people and see what other people are doing. There's a whole lot
until they blow. Because the same thing will happen like Office Staff sometimes with AV9. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's like you see people hop on it, but unfortunately, it seems like the cheat code is Irish radio or the UK.
I think, that's another thing that kind of kills me because obviously I don't rap in that style. So it's
in what style? Drill?
We'll say it's UK friendly. We'll say.
Yeah.
Because there's people who rap with British accents. I wouldn't say it's necessarily drill. There is a big drill scene here. But even just in regards to that, I feel like I don't know. I wouldn't even be looking for those avenues to take off.
I would definitely put you under a more US type rap.
And that's,
like this is not like it's whatever. I think the most unique thing about Ireland is that we have different types of people. I think that's gonna be Ireland's way.
I think it's mad that like I remember it's funny because I remember I got stick for rapping in that kind of style at the start, right? But I'm like, are you gonna sit there and give me shit doing that, but then fly a flag for the guy rapping in a UK accent or like, which is there's nothing wrong with doing drill thing.
And even like even some people make comments about rapping in an Irish accent if you don't actually have one or something like that.
I swear, I'm just like, but I would not know. Like I grew up watching American TV. Yeah. People tell me I sound a certain way thing. So it's like if I was to rap in an Irish accent, I'd be putting that on. That would be faker than me rapping the way I rap, if that makes sense. But like, that's what it is.
I think there's definitely just going to be a bit of uncomfortability with Ireland finding its feet. And I think, for me, I think the second we embrace, and I think that's what Cello's doing wonderfully, like he's using, obviously, UK drill in an Irish way. Yeah. And it's like, that's what Cello does like really well, and Young Shakur as well. And then even Raj Music.
Those two guys, the two guys, I've seen, like, it's funny, I like to think that I have a good, like, at my ears, on, especially with regards to Dublin stuff, and, like, they're two people that, like, have been popping up, like,
Young Shakur.
No, I haven't heard of him, I want to hear him. But Raj Music, they've just been popping up, like, and it's not like a recent thing, but I've just been hearing the name around, if that makes sense. I've never actually got time to study my music.
They've
it's almost like
done madnesses to Afrobeats, like, they did, Fuji music, they have, like, a Fuji food drill. Exactly, it's mad. I'm gonna play it, and it sounds mad, but they do unreal, like, things to music, and they've actually been quiet the last couple of months. But what they do is that they put a bit of Irish in there, and then they put a bit of Nigerian in there. Do you know what I mean? And then same with Young Shakur, like he would probably put in a lot of Irish, like so for example, Waterford got into the All Ireland final, and he already made a song called Swing, so about hurling, because that's what he does. Do you know what I mean? So then he was like, loves my county, like John Milan or whatever. Like even got to like the tea shop and stuff, because like they basically use that to promote it. But it's like, I think a lot of people in Ireland, when it comes to integration, give out that maybe black people and stuff don't integrate into the culture properly, even though at the same time they're not the ones that are putting the barrier there to let them integrate.
Would you not say, don't get me wrong, and I remember there was a lot of stuff with, don't get me wrong, look, they'll say that, but then they'll turn around and fucking stick on Stormzy, right?
Exactly.
They want I'm telling you now, they want some fucking black guy to be like, oh yeah, that's the rapper from blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? That's what they want, because don't get me, I'll say that.
Well, I think where I was getting to is I feel like people feel more comfortable when you take on their culture and show that I love this culture, this is what I'm from, because some people don't want to feel extorted. They at the end, and that's where a lot of xenophobia comes from, where people feel like immigrants are coming to our culture, coming and taking it away. I think when they see people like Cello and Young Shakur being part of the community and growing up in it and showing that true and being authentic with it, I think that's why they have a huge following, because they are very authentic. But the flip side of that is that the same thing where if you don't have an Irish accent, you don't have to force an Irish accent just because you're Irish. Do you know what I mean? I think both things are fine. Do you know what I mean? I think sometimes there's a bit of ridicule given depending on where you stand on the type of rapper and stuff like that, because a lot of these things are still new in Ireland. When we talked about the way Ireland sees entertainment, it's not just urban culture. I hate the word, but
when you say urban, you sound like someone's white man who doesn't want to say black.
Exactly.
That's how I feel when I say urban.
I hate urban. It because what is urban from?
It's black.
You know what I mean? So it's just not making sense. But I think it's the easiest way to target what I would say. Even that, what was I gonna say? I was talking about.
Sorry, I'm sure you have to. Sorry.
Yeah, you did. Fucking hell. I'm done. But basically, people want to support urban culture and they want it to be
100%.
authentic. But Ireland itself is just modernizing. So just young people in general. So whether you're black, whatever, just white Irish people are going through it too. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's what's very unique about Ireland.
I think Ireland, and some Fijians might kill me for saying this, but I think Ireland is just a little petri dish of the UK in the sense of the UK are so diverse, it's actually crazy. Yes, there's racists there, whatever, there's racists everywhere. But it's a case of I remember I was there.
London is the word you're looking for.
London, fair. London, okay, fair. London, shout, London. I see Dublin and London as very similar things in terms of Dublin's only, I'd say, maybe 10 years, 20, 15 years behind London in terms of integration. There's so many people from everywhere. It's a giant melting pot. So I feel like you're right in saying that, but I feel like just a little bit more time, and
I genuinely think the time is all not all it needs.
And I feel
people forget that some of the most long-lasting people or spearheaders have literally been in this less than 5 years. So it's
that's crazy to think as well. Sometimes I remember one thing got me fucking in the what's the word? Last year I did this hot press session things for hot press actually, and I was
the live sessions.
The live things. I was young and emerging, whatever. Yeah. Now they had rappers there before me, right? And these were this was Jafaris, Teddy Rex, I think JLO did one, and then Celebrated Meg. Yeah. Now I'm okay, these guys are pretty heavy hitters, right? Of the fucking thing, they're quite well known. And I'm being and I was okay, I'm very, and I'm serious. I didn't get, and then they picked me afterwards, and I was okay, you're picking all these big ass people who have been there for time, but I'm I've only been in here 2 years. Then I realized they've only been here 4 years, 5 years. Do you know what I mean? It's actually mad. Exactly. But to see how the progression that they've done in that, do you know what I mean? So it's
I think it's very hard because, like you said, Ireland is a petri dish of UK, London. So I think a lot of what Ireland tries to mimic is that. And then because we've seen the progression there, we almost expect the same thing now. Yeah. But if you talk the UK being big, having GRM link up, having their own platforms, those things have only gotten bigger in the last 3 years, and actually for them to be stable themselves. On top of that, the likes of Giggs, Getz, Kano, all of those people had to do what ye are probably doing right now.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of people are trying to see themselves more like the most recent part of the UK. But
Yeah.
you shouldn't see yourself there.
Topic,
you really should see yourself at the start and work at the start. Like how many of these DJs were not making a living from, like Charlie Slot, for example. Like he's been doing Fire in the Boot for years. Over 10 years, I'm pretty sure he's been doing Fire. And fucking Tim Westwood. Do you know what I mean? All of these people, like, if you, he's getting a bit creepy these days.
Yeah, that's good. He's a bit mad, but like, I'm talking back Tim Westwood back in the days, like,
same thing with Chip. Chip is a veteran in the game. He's been in the game for 15 years, yeah.
But he's still so young.
He's only 30 or 31. Like, he's been there since he was 16.
Jesus.
So,
did he Chip?
Exactly, literally. So it's like I think like the Irish music scene, there's a lot of patience that needs to be there.
It needs to be implanted.
Do you know what I mean?
But
and it's like
do you not
more people.
Do you not also think that in the sense of like you made a point about Grime Daily and those guys, and it's case like
TV.
you said Lick Up TV, and like they kind of blew up in the last 3 years. But like, were they even there 5 years ago?
I think they were.
Were they?
But they were like magazines. Like they weren't as big as they were. So they were writing what they were writing. But people weren't really until like they kind of took it upon themselves and people actually believed in them. Now it's a place that you go to hear about your favorite artists. You want to know what they're wearing. You want to know what they're doing. You want to know how they're living.
I used to describe the scene when I first started. I mean, it's still kind of the same. Not obviously we're getting there a little bit more. Like even just like for example, I used to describe the scene as what's it called? It reminded me of Brooklyn in the early 90s in the sense of like there's like there's people doing little things, you know what I'm saying? But like there's a giant keg of explosive powder there ready to fucking blow and do mad stuff. There's so many talented creatives who just literally need like a chance, an opportunity of an industry that cares about them, but like that needs like. So I was telling something like that. It's like New York in the early 90s, but like just need like a star, some of the pop, right? And one thing I'll talk about is Denise Chila, right? From especially last year.
Limerick.
She's from Limerick, is she?
It's Limerick, right?
Oh, fair play. What's I gonna say like the push she received, I was sitting, don't get me wrong, as an actor to be like, obviously you want it to be you.
Of course, I feel the same way in football.
But it's a case of like, how to say this, you're sitting there be like, perfect, we need somebody like this in first, to then you can start getting a little bit, not dirtier, but like, like a little bit
normalized.
More, not normalized, but something like, her music would say would be very,
like it's very like, enlightening almost
clean, house family friendly, which is great. There's nothing wrong with that. That's actually your own thing.
What's a foot in the door?
It's a foot in the door to let like a Rico Nasty who's still honing her craft in 5 years be able to go on the Late Late Show wearing fucking fishnets and tape on hits. That's what I'm thinking about. That's what I see, and I'm like, I'm so like it's a foot in the door. We're getting there. You know what I'm saying? I'm so excited to see who is next. Yeah. In the sense of like, I'm not saying that she's gonna fall off. No.
But it's like it's just little like this. The start of a firework. So it's like random things on their own, and that's what it looks like. It's like here's Jafaris, here's Soleil, here's Tulu, here's J.O. Do you know what I mean? But now it's like a lot of them are there at the same time, and it can only keep piling up. Do you know what I mean? And it's like it is. People forget that. It's small in general, so the percentage of people who are gonna go is still gonna be small. So initially, maybe it was one person every 2 years. It's gonna be more and more and more, and it's already showing that. Do you know what I mean? And I think everybody that's working hard in their craft and stuff like that should be proud of themselves. And it's not easy, especially when you have to fund it and back yourself most of the time.
When you have to back yourself and do it, like, and it can be kind of disheartening to see like, and it's like I'm saying. Say you get a lot of compliments on your craft or whatever you do, it can be a little bit disheartening to hear like one day to hear that like someone tell you like, oh, you're the best rapper in Ireland, or I think you're the best rapper in this blah, 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 blah. And then the next day you'd be like, okay, Graham, I'll take that into my head and then walk out thinking that, if that makes sense, right? Which is a big mistake people do. They believe they get gassed up so fast and actually realize that actually I ain't got shit yet. Like, you still have to. You get gassed up before you actually put the work in, which I think is good. But like even what I'm saying is like someone will say a great thing to you and then you walk away and then you be like you see somebody else who for some whatever reason made the connections, has a label push or has an agency push, and you're still independent doing nothing by yourself. You're just like Do you know what I'm saying? It's like it can get a bit.
It's like, am I the best?
No, it's not. No, it's not even that. No, because it's, at the end of the day, like what we said earlier, it's confidence. It's not arrogance.
Yeah.
There's a fine line between confidence and arrogance. You can believe in yourself to know that, you know what, I probably can get this level one day, but you can't come in with your dick swinging around being like, I'm this.
Yeah.
You'll turn everybody off you. 100%. You'll be like, it's not a case of like, when you're doing that, it's a case of people see you and they won't say, I want to hear that guy, see him make me, I want to hear he's doing something. It's like, I want to hear that guy do well or do his thing. People will be like, I want to hear that guy fuck up.
You want to see his downfall,
Exactly, and that's how you get people just not liking you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can't walk in here, you can't walk into places anymore thinking you're the bee's knees or you're the bee. Who am I?
The bee's knees.
I swear, who the fuck am I? You can't walk in people's places and be like, oh, I'm this and I'm that and that, because like people will see that. And obviously, that's one thing I did in the last 2 years, where it was a case of like, I get these compliments and that would get into my head and it make me believe.
I mean, there is that quote that is like, you're never as good as you are on your best day, and you're never as bad as you are on your worst day, type thing. I think it's just, as humans, we over exaggerate like our most intense feelings.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's just a balancing. It's a balancing act, isn't it? But yeah. So what's coming up for Jeorge II?
Well, I'm opening an OnlyFans account and I just have.
Subscribe here.
Oh, stop. What am I say? I'm working on 2 new projects at the minute. One is with my longtime friend and collaborator. His name is Malo, DJ in Academy, and we're creating a little group called Jello, basically, because my name is Jeorge II and his name is Malo. And this idea was kind of birthed during lockdown, or because he wanted to make beats, and I was like, yeah, sure, you make beats, but like you're gonna be shit for like 2 years. You know what I mean? I was really telling him, make beats, but like I'm gonna tell you that I'm not going to use any of them. Like, you know what I mean? You will be shit for 2 years before you decide. But the guy took to it like fucking like fire to gasoline.
Yeah.
Like in 6 months the guy was like, you know what I'm saying? So like I was like, this guy's good actually. So then we just started like, you know, fucking around and make some music, and it's a lot more lighthearted than my Jeorge stuff. If that makes sense. So it's a different side.
Sometimes you need that.
100%. You need a funny and kind of just take the piss side. We have a video shot and it's currently being edited right now. Probably so that single might be out in the next month, hopefully. Then I'm working on a project with Luke Fly, who is a sick drill producer from Galway, I'm pretty sure, and he's part of New Era TV. Blah blah. There's a lot of drill stuff, but me and him have been working on a lot more chilled sounds, if that makes sense. So it's case like people. It's funny. Before this, you sound like you talk like you rap real fast. If that makes sense. So like this whole project,
it's weird because I feel like you on this EP you were the clearest I've heard you.
Yeah.
Like, and then you even had the Cavalier.
Oh yeah, well, Malik, Cavalier, yeah.
But like that gave me like J. Cole and Mari vibes. Like, you started singing and shit. Like, I was just like,
oh, Cartier. Oh
Cartier,
yeah. Oh,
I was just like, I did not expect that at all.
It's a little side note. The guy who made that beat, his name's Nate Quinch. What's up, Nate? He gave that beat to some other artist, and I was like, yo, yeah, just tell him you can't use that beat anymore. I want that. He gave it to me, and that was 2.5 years ago, and I haven't dropped the song yet. So like, I had to put that shit on there.
Artists are like, you guys are hoarders.
Oh man. Yeah, football assholes. But anyway, yeah. So that project with that song with Jamal Mallo, and also the project with Luke Fly is coming up. So we have some stuff coming up.
Some stuff, more consistency in that.
Because it's case like one thing that really fucked me up was I got the biggest kind of, before this EP stuff, whatever, I got kind of the biggest pop in my career. Like the biggest pop in my career after I dropped my first EP, right? And from that I took, grand, I've done my stuff now, let them, sit around and enjoy that. But it's case like, no, just keep making music. Yeah. One, a manager for a very successful artist, I'm not gonna say names, said to me, I was talking to him, he said to me, a very successful Irish artist said to me, one of the biggest things to grow your fan base is just build your catalogue.
Literally.
Because who's gonna listen to the same? I'm gonna listen. I can't just run off.
I'm a crackhead. When I find like an artist that I want that whole thing.
Rinse.
Also, you don't know, like, if you have a really good song and that pops off and people want to like you, they have to have something to look to. Like, there's an art and there's an excitement in finding an artist that's not yet blown.
Exactly. Yeah. True.
Do you know what I mean? Like there's something about underground.
It's not like a CJ where it's like, okay, whoopty, what's next? Oh, he has no other songs. What's do you know what I mean? He has he has 2 other songs. Oh, okay, this guy's a plant.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's stuff like that where it's like, But yeah, no, I'm trying to build up that. I'm trying to build up my my catalog. Also, I feel like in regards to like fan bases and whatnot, I try to be very like one-on-one, not one-on-one, but like I'm not trying to say fan.
Intimate.
Intimate. You know what I mean? Like if somebody shares a story, one of the things I hate, for example, is like if I did this to a bigger artist, I think it was last year, and I shared something with theirs, right? And they were, this was during a drop, so they was doing their own thing, and it was case of like, they just seen it, and just said nothing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was like,
okay, you hate me again.
No, it was like, unfollow, you know what I mean? Because it was like, not even
you
thanks.
don't have that many people following you, bro. You saw this shit.
No, it said seen it. So you went into it, seeing it. I'm just like, alright, fuck me then, right? Alright, you know what I'm saying? Because it says like if someone shares something, I'm like, oh thanks, blah blah, or thanks, blah blah.
It definitely does build your fan base because I know, for example, like when I post stuff, I just share stuff because I be sharing and everything. But it's like it is nice when someone does say something back, and it does. 100%. It makes you want to promote them even more.
Literally,
you know what I mean,
even a lot of the people who hit me up over the weekend were friends of friends. I was like, oh, you know this person. I was like, yeah, you put me on this stuff like last year. I'm just like, okay, wow, okay, you know what I mean? So it's crazy, like
it's where it starts.
It's where it starts, and I feel like people who actually listen to my music actually like listen to me and they're like, okay, this guy actually could do something. And they act like that. I have people who support me. I released a video called ADHD in in like June 2019, whatever, it's June 2019. And some dude shared that, right? And he shared it all the way back then. Yeah. I dropped that EP last Friday. Guy didn't talk to me in like 2 years. Shared the thing. Yeah. And now he goes, bro, I've been waiting for this one.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just like, holy shit. You tapped in 2 years ago and you're still looking at shit like, you know what I'm saying?
Like, people are ready to support something that they like.
If it's good.
Especially when it's on.
If it's good.
If it's something that they like. They're not gonna like it if it's shit. I think the forced support is definitely, it's asking people to share stuff. It's nice, but they're not gonna do it.
They're not gonna do it.
It's when someone like takes it on, loves it, and they'll just keep it up themselves.
It's like in the Bible where there was a rich man, and he gave like the church or the priest or whatever like 1 million gold coins or whatever, and some poor woman only gave him like 20 fucking cents, and Jesus was like, the poor woman goes to heaven first before you, because she actually gave.
It was also her last as well.
It was her last. She didn't, you know what I mean? It was case like he wasn't forced. The rich guy was like, oh well, I have to do this. So I need to make a big thing about it.
And it didn't really make a difference.
It didn't make a difference.
But I think like even it definitely hits home a lot more as well. I'm sure for you and that. But that's pretty much it.
Alright, beautiful.
Thanks for coming on.
Beautiful.
It's been great.
No problem. I'm gonna sit here for a bit longer. Turn that off. And I'll sing this up. Okay. What's that song? How's it going?
Live performance from Jeorge II, guys. I need to stop saying that. Jeorge II.
That I've been singing to her all day. What's that again? That bitch can't keep no balance on that dick, but she a Libra. That bitch can't get $1 from the shit, it's Ebenezer. I bust it on her features and give her back to Jesus. Cause if I try to keep her, it's finished.
If I try to keep her what?
You find out.
I'm screaming. It's an HEYITSMENESSER. Come back again. I have to do a proper. This guy just left the video. Anyway, don't forget. It's over anyway. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I'll put all of George's information there and the link to the EP as well. So what's the word? Don't hesitate to get in touch if you like the music or if you have any questions or anything. I just don't like.
She's a great host. She offered me some water. I said no, but I appreciate the
That's
offer.
all I have in my new apartment. Oh yeah, also you guys can see it is a different setup. Yeah, your girl moved. I'm a Dublin babe now. Bye.